Morning Facebook, hope you're well. I'm going to wait for some of you to jump online, but otherwise we're live. I've got my coffee again, I've gone with my Colours bakery mug today. Anyone who watches Cake Boss or knows about Buddy Valastro, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you don't, and you enjoy cake, that's all good. So I hope you're well. I hope you're progressing with lockdown now. It feels like we're here for a while, right? It feels a bit different, doesn't it? We're going to be talking today about motivation by inspiration, which is something really key to how we do stuff here that I think can help people. Oh, I can see Tao, you're watching. Hi. As people join in, if you want to put in an emoji that represents your week so far, that would be cool. Let me know how you're going. I think this only tells me when people I'm Facebook friends with actually turn up. So if you're here and you're watching, drop me an emoji. I know there's a little delay, so I that's why I have my coffee now. I drink my coffee whilst you do that. Otherwise, we're going to be talking about motivation by inspiration. As I said, something really, really key to how we do stuff here that I think can help you guys and your households in the current lockdown situation in regards to being motivated to do stuff. Because I think, I don't know about you, but motivation in lockdown is a little more challenging than it even was before. So what I'm talking about relates to movement and sport. However, it's the same concept for literally anything. Motivating yourself to do anything for any real reason. Doing it by inspiration is far more powerful, and I'm going to tell you why. So, a few of you are here now, so we shall get started with my coffee. So, I asked some of you a question, which if you're watching live, you can type in the comments for me the answer that relates to you. So, thinking about moving, what usually motivates you? Hi Lucy, I can see you're here. Nice to see you. So, help me out with the answer to a question here, okay? So, if thinking about moving, what usually motivates you? So, type in A in the comments if you are A. It's a fear thing. You are afraid of being ill or unfit, so you're going to do something about avoiding it. So you're basically running away from being ill and the negative side of not doing it. That is A. You are a B if you are, I want good health and well-being, so I take positive steps towards it. So it's all in a positive way, you're moving towards it, it feels good, that is B. C is, it's more so punishment for something I ate. I will get up off the sofa because I want to eat a big meal. That concept is pretty big in our culture, actually. It's quite a scary one, actually. That moving should be a punishment for what you ate, but we know it's a big thing. We know that that is often what we're taught to do. So please be honest, type in the comments if you are C, that would be great. And then my final one, D, is I'm motivated towards achieving a goal. Like maybe it's running a certain distance, park run, couch to 5k, that kind of thing, or another sporting performance goal. So that is D if you're motivated that one. So type in the comments. I know there is a big delay from when you type them in and when I see them. So I'm going to go through them again and drink my coffee. By then I'll be able to see them. So A, it's a fear thing, afraid of being ill or unfit, so I'll do something about it. B is I want good health and well-being, so I take positive steps towards it. C, it's more a punishment for something I ate. Hi, Lindsay. And D, I'm motivated towards achieving a goal, like a sporting performance or running in a certain time, or whatever that is. It's an actual thing you can achieve. Type in the comments which one you are. Now, I asked our members in their Facebook groups this week and on email about where they were and our team, and we had a range of answers, but we had quite a lot of Bs. Most people who came through and responded said they were B, which is they want good health and well-being, so they take positive steps towards it. We had a few people that were D, that were motivated towards certain goals. I've had parkrun mentioned, couch to 5k. I know several people have taken up that actually in lockdown, which is pretty cool. So it's actually having a particular thing to move towards, as in an actual goal. So I'm not just moving because it's health and fitness, I'm moving because I want to run this time in this thing, or for me I do aerial workout because I want to learn this new skill that I can't do right yet. Yeah, so it's like a performance goal, or it's I physically have a performance to do. Maybe a gymnast has a competition, or a cheerleader has an event to perform at, and you're moving towards it for that reason. That's D. So, a few of you watching, post on in what yours is, but as I said, most of the people that I surveyed said they were a B, which they're moving positively towards something, which that is really great. That's always nice that we're motivated by positivity. It's not a fear-based thing, it's an actual positive, I'm going to go after that. And that brings me on to motivation by inspiration, which is essentially what we're talking about here. It's about being positively inspired to move towards something rather than running away from it as a fear. And it's good because I believe it's way more motivating. It gets you to do the thing. And it's more enjoyable to feel that you're actually making a positive step rather than just avoiding something bad. But there's also a little bit of a secret benefit. It's not just that it is motivating and more enjoyable, it's actually more impactful, more successful and more long-term impactful. Like way long-term if we're thinking about perhaps the kids that we teach, particularly in our classes here, or if you're parents and you've got young ones at home, and for yourself of course, because your habits will impact on everyone else around you. If we're talking about teaching children healthy life skills and habits, if we inspire them to move, to be motivated, that has long-term, as in life skill impact. We're talking big impact here. So that's my second secret benefit of motivation by inspiration, is long-term success. So I'm going to give you the example of gymnast stretching. So you probably appreciate that as gymnasts or cheerleaders or any area we're in, splits is a useful skill to be able to do. Not everyone can do the splits. If you're one of these people that can just get up and do the splits, no stretching, straight off, you have my admiration. It's not me. It's not most people. Most of us have to work towards that one. And something to do with stretching, it can be painful. It can be challenging. It can take quite a long time to achieve a skill like the splits if your body does not naturally want to go that way. It's a long process. I'm just seeing some comments here from Chris. Chris, you're checking me about a question about your class. If you want to email hello@affinitygymnastics.co.uk, the admin guys can answer you that question here. Just gonna see if I can read the rest of it. Yeah, I can't see the rest of your comment right now. So email us and we'll sort out about your daughter's class. So, right, we're talking about the example of gymnast stretching. So, it can be something that takes a long time. So if I motivate the gymnast to stretch by saying, right, you have to have splits, off you go. It's not enjoyable. They're going to find the stretching perhaps painful. They're not going to understand what to do. Or if we physically stretch each gymnast, it's time consuming and they're never going to actually go and do it apart from in that session with us. If we instead motivate them by inspiration in terms of inspiring them to want to have splits, getting them to understand why it's important, then they will go away and work on it by themselves. And that means actually long-term success. Not just in that it's more stretching time, but it's a lifelong habit. They then understand what it takes to get towards a goal. That is basically the power of the why. And that's how we do it, is by inspiring them to know why they need to have splits. So, for example, it helps us do more advanced skills. It helps us do it without injury. And it means actually our movements look better, which in a sport like gymnastics, you're judged on how your movement looks. So it's really important in that way, and it's actually a responsible thing to do as a gymnast to be stretching because it improves so many elements of your performance. If you understand that, then you'll be like, I'm on it. Yep, I want that. I'm going to go and stretch. If I just tell you, just stretch, and you don't understand why, you're not going to do it because it's hard and it's painful. Yeah? So this is what I mean by motivation by inspiration. Hi Kat, hi Nikki. We're talking about motivation by inspiration. I'm using the example about stretching splits, and I know you guys are coaches, so you will know what I'm talking about. How by if you can inspire a gymnast as to why they are doing it and why it's important, you get a much better result. And that child then understands long term about how to set goals and what they're important for. And it's not just, oh, do this because I said, it's do this because I've explained to you what it is and it's aligned with something you want. I think pretty much every gymnast in the gym is going to want to do more cool tricks. If they understand fully that, right, to do more cool tricks, I need to go and do this thing over here, which is stretching my splits in this example, they'll do it. If there isn't that understanding, why would you do it? It's less fun than just doing the skill, right? So that is the power of the why. It's always about seeking to understand and knowing why you're doing something. Oh, thanks, Nikki. You inspired me too. We like a little bit of inspiration for a Saturday morning. I'll have some coffee for that. Yeah. Those that are coaches, feel free to type in the comments. Let me know how this goes with your gymnasts. Ooh, light issue. Ah, that's better. So, another example I can give you is think about a plant. Okay, so when you are if you're into growing seeds, okay, even if you're not, I think we appreciate what happens. You plant a seed. You water it, it looks like a plant pot with nothing in it for quite a long time. And then eventually you see like this little tiny seedling. Now, we don't then look at that seedling and go, oh, that's so small, like that's nothing, oh my God, I'm a failure. You don't rip it out at that point. And you don't rip it out at that point because you know the process. You know that, oh look, this is the seed that's starting. This is the seedling. We know that if I give it more water, more sunlight, more soil if it needs replanting, we know that it's going to grow bigger and that eventually it will be this big plant and it might bear fruit or seeds or pretty flowers or whatever. We know the process of growing something from seed in that it starts small and it grows bigger. Okay? So if you relate that into, again, something like split stretching or any type of physical goal, it is far more motivating. So imagine if you go back to the split stretching example, if you stretch for a week, 2 weeks, which actually if you do stretch consistently for a week or two, you will see quite a decent improvement in flexibility. We see improvement in flexibility quickly. You also lose it quickly, so you have to keep going, but you will see improvement quite quickly. If after stretching for a week, you see that your splits have improved by, let's say, you're this much further to the floor, and you go, oh, I'm still failing, like I can't do it, like I'm just going to give up. That is the equivalent of seeing that seedling poke through into a tiny, tiny little plant and you ripping it up. Now you would never do that with a seedling because you understand the process. If we can then take that learning into the physical goals we have, and indeed any goal, this relates to anything mindset or anything you want to achieve, but I'm going to use the example of physical and splits because, hey, we're a gymnastics club, right? And cheerleading. Wearing my cheerleading t-shirt today. Yeah, if you then saw that little 2 centimetre improvement in your splits as, ooh, look at that, great, it's happening. The next step is it's going to get bigger, yeah? Then imagine how more motivating that is. If you see that tiny, tiny improvement and tear yourself down over it, it's really, really hard. Comparing yourself to someone who stretches and gets further down in a split is also comparable to comparing the seedling that's this big to the one that's this big. It's just kind of pointless, right? You wouldn't do it with a seedling, so why would you do it with your own improvements, yeah? If we can understand the journey that it is from start point, not being able to do the splits, to end point, doing the splits, and knowing that it can take an amount of time, and that what will happen is to start with, you'll see a little bit of improvement, then you'll see a bit more, and a bit more, and then from there, if you understand that process, each step is then motivating. It's like a little celebration. It's not, oh, I still can't do it. It's, oh, cool, I've made another, I'm on my way. Yeah? Do you see how that's just far more motivating, helps you feel better about yourself? And if you feel better about yourself in something, you're going to do it. Yeah? And this is where sport and movement is really important to teach our young ones, and indeed those that are not young, we can still all learn, but to teach someone that things do take time and to keep going with them because they're worth it. That is a very, very big life skill. And indeed that actually in movement you can always keep learning things. Yeah, I think that is really important. I'm seeing some likes here. Thanks, guys. I'm saying something that fits for you. So this leads on to a little bit of the goal setting. More coffee. If what I'm saying makes sense, do hit me some likes, hit the love. That would be lovely for a Saturday morning. Or let me know in the comments what bit kind of resonates with you. Coaches that are watching, does this work with your gymnasts? Will you maybe go and explain a bit more about why for them next time you're working? Thanks, Nikki. That's Nikki McLinden. I've got Nikki Small as well. Popular name for a Saturday morning. So that leads us, wow, I've got to sort the lighting out on this. It's a bit crazy, huh? I think I'll stay still. It doesn't help I've got a window here, so every time it gets brighter outside, it makes me look a bit like Casper. Okay, so this leads on to goal setting. So if we take what we've talked about so far and lead that into goal setting. Now, there are these things called SMARTer goals, as in capitals, SMART or SMARTer. Go Google that one. It's been around in terms of goal setting forevermore. It is useful. I'm going to give you an idea of how to set a goal from another point of view. It is all useful if they are actually smarter, which I think is measured, attainable. I can't remember right now. Google that one, you'll find loads of people helping you with that. But from my point of view, I want to add in goal setting from a slightly different approach. So I'm going to ask you to set a goal from the heart. So what is it that you actually really want to do? So in my split stretching example, that gymnast may really want to actually achieve their splits, possibly because they also want to get a better score at competition, or they want to learn a new cool trick that isn't just splits. It's probably not the end point, thinking from a gymnast's point of view, but they genuinely, they really want to actually be able to do the splits. That's in their heart. They're going to feel good when they get that done. So think about what you actually want to do, whether it is a movement goal or in any area of life. And then get smart about it. And this is smart without capital letters here. Go learn about the process to get that thing done. You can pretty much guarantee if you want something, if you want to achieve something, someone else has probably already gone and done it. How many gymnasts in the world can do the splits? How many had to go through a hell of a process to keep stretching to get there? How many people have grown seedlings before and know how to do it, yeah? Go and get smart about it. Learn from them. Understand what the process is. Go and work it out. If you want to be able to do your splits, go and learn about how long that takes. I mean, I could tell you how long that takes. It's different for each person. But it's not an instant thing. There's some things that you can do in a week, some things you can't. Splits, probably you can't. Go find out what that process is and what that's going to mean. We've got the Couch to 5K app. That tells you exactly in there what the process is. It says do this, then do this and this and this, and it's going to take you roughly this sort of a length of time to be able to get off your couch and then run 5K. That is outlining the whole process. So go and find that information out for whatever the thing you want to do is. Then find someone who's done it. Learn how they did it. It's not just enough to go, this is the process. Actually find someone who has done it and hear from their experience, because there's always more of a story behind it. As I said, with the Couch to 5K, it tells you what to do, but actually go and talk to someone about their experience. How did they actually motivate themselves to get up on that day when it was hard? What bits did they find easier? It probably isn't a linear kind of, oh, I just did this. You probably find it's like this in terms of motivation. Most stuff is. And it's often those times when you're feeling really down that you're actually nearly there. So if you can find someone who's been through it, who can guide you and coach you and mentor you, you get through these road bumps much faster and you don't get stuck in the pitfalls. And then set yourself realistic targets. Don't think, right, I am going to do splits in 1 week. Yeah, it's not realistic. You're going to miss that target and you're going to feel bad about yourself and you're not going to try again. And then you're not going to try again at something else either. Pick something that is realistic and give yourself the time and the tools you need, whether that is coaching, lessons, guidance, mentoring, or it could be just you need in your own kind of daily habits. If you're going to get up and go for a run, you might need to carve some time in for someone to look after the kids so you can get out. Maybe you need to prep yourself. Maybe you need to have your trainers by the door so you literally roll out of bed and into your trainers and off you go. You know, set yourself up for success so you can actually fit this in and be realistic. If you want to do splits in a week and you don't have, well, let's say if you want to go run a marathon and you don't have time to do the training, you're not going to do it. So give yourself something realistic. Yeah, don't set yourself up to fail. Set yourself up for success and understand why you're doing it, which means that the journey is going to be so much more positive. And then be joyful at each step of the process. Yeah. So imagine that little seedling coming through and go, yay, celebrate. Yeah. My splits have got a little bit better. I got out of bed. I put my trainers on. I didn't go for a run. Fine. First step, yeah? Celebrate each step and then continue doing that as you go through. Set yourself milestones, yeah? Just because you're not at the end goal yet doesn't mean you haven't achieved something. And if you celebrate each little step, you feel better at it, it boosts your motivation. You're going to do the next one, yeah? So it's motivation by inspiration. So, good luck. Good luck. That is all my advice for one Saturday morning. Now, I would love to know, what is a goal that you would like to do? If you're thinking about asking you to set a goal from the heart, what is it that you would like to do? Type me in something that you might be motivated to do. It can be really big, It can be really small. You might want to be Prime Minister. You might just want to perhaps just try a little bit of yoga. It's all good. Type me in the comments what goal you would like to do. And if you're watching this on replay later, still type one in and I will come back and answer them after that is done. I'll give you a few minutes to do that. I know there's a delay. And I've still got most of my coffee. Let's see, Chris, if I can see the rest of your comment. It only shows me the first few lines. But we are well and safe, thanks, Chris. Yeah, I can't see it. It won't let me view the rest of the comment, Chris. But yeah, email the guys. But yeah, as a team, we're doing pretty well over here, as well as can be expected, really, in all our individual homes. But we're trying to keep together as a team and keep positive. And we've got a load of ideas for next term's classes, which is a little overwhelming. There's so many ideas, but it's good. We're going to pick our top ones. We're going to take a little breather for half term, actually. So those that are in our classes next week, we're on as normal, and then half term we're going to take a little breather and let the team have a little bit of a break, and then we'll be back already, because I think, seeing from what the government have announced, I can't see us going back physically until way into July, if then. But we keep up to date with that. We know some people might be going back to school in June, so that might affect your ability to come to our class, but we will change timetable. We have got classes after school at the moment already, so we can make all those little timetable swaps. I sent out a newsletter for everyone who's in the online programme, or is one of our Frozen members yesterday. If that isn't you and you'd like to know what's going on, just drop us a message here on the Facebook group and I will fill you in. Right, so I hope you guys are going to go and get on with all those goals. My goal today is... What is my goal today? I am going to go outside. As you can see, you can't actually... You can only see my wheelie bins from there. Not a great view. I've got an aerial frame out there. I'm going to do some aerial hoop today, I think. That'd be my goal. That and might clean my house. Maybe. Although I hear the cleaners can come back. So that is my aim for today. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for joining me. Love to hear you get on with your goals, and if I can help with them at all, you know where we are. And I will see you next week. So I said we're going to take a little breather. I plan on doing Facebook Live next Saturday and then not the following one. So I will see you in a week.